Welcome back, everyone. So as you guys probably know, not too long ago, I just kind of talked about the MacBook Air running macOS Big Sur, but it wasn't just any MacBook Air, it was the technically oldest supported MacBook Air running macOS Big Sur, and I found it really weird that Apple actually took out the 2012 MacBook Air, but I found it even weirder that they took out the 2012 Retina MacBook Pro, which is the original Retina MacBook Pro, which I really liked, both the 13-inch and the 15-inch. I was actually using the 13-inch one as kind of like a Windows machine for a little while, and I liked it. It ran it perfectly fine, surprisingly. It ran Windows 10 really well for being like a 2012 device. But now, as many as you guys know, the 2013 one is technically the oldest supported one, and I actually bought one just for the purposes of this video and actually like a couple other things too. But with this MacBook Pro, you're getting basically that same 13-inch design as you got from that 2012 one, and pretty much the same one you're getting from that 2015 one as well. But my specific one does have a huge, broken screen on it, but I'm still able to screen record and everything. And what I can tell you is that surprisingly, the macOS 11 update for this specific MacBook runs it pretty well. And I found that same exact thing for the MacBook Air as well. Like, surprisingly, macOS Big Sur is pretty smooth. Now, when I go and do like the screen recording and I do all that stuff, for some reason it glitches up because it just requires more resources. These things aren't really super powerful that much anymore, at least in terms of like being able to do multiple different things at the same time. And screen recording for some reason still takes a ton of resources, or maybe it's just a glitch within macOS 11 and I'm just finding that out now. But what I can tell you is, for the purposes of the raw features that macOS 11 brings and what is supported with this 2013 MacBook, it's really surprising. Now keep this in mind, this MacBook came out the same year that the iPhone 5S came out, okay? That is really crazy in my opinion, because the iPhone 5S isn't even really getting software updates anymore, and this MacBook is a very powerful MacBook for what you're getting in terms of a 2013 phone running the latest software. Now I know just a second ago I said it's not that powerful. I mean that in terms of when you're comparing it side by side to the latest MacBook, like the 16-inch one, but it's still really surprising what you're getting from like a $300 to like $500 MacBook. Now the features within macOS 11 all run perfectly fine for the most part that I was able to see. The new design language looks really nice on this type of MacBook. Like I stated, I already ran this on my MacBook Air and it looked pretty good as well. But just seeing these type of new UI elements is really nice and definitely a huge change on this type of MacBook, which is really cool. Like I said, you're getting those new widgets kind of new thing with iOS that kind of match iOS 14, which is really cool. And they work for the most part. You're still not able to put any on the desktop, but like I said, maybe that's just a thing they're going to do. It's the same thing with the iPads. We're not able to drag those widgets out to the home screen, so I don't know what they're going to do about that, but hopefully they add some compatibility with that. That would be really cool. And also just those small little changes overall. There's a ton of changes throughout, and I want to say, I haven't used this MacBook as like a main machine at all. I just used it to kind of sense, get a sense of how it feels, how it runs and everything. And I didn't really run into too many issues, but I will keep you guys updated. I started up a blog and I'll go ahead and leave that link down below if you guys want to check it out. But I don't think maybe I'll do this article too. I've just been writing random articles all over the place. But if anything changes, I'll keep you guys updated on that one. But so far, it doesn't seem that bad. It seems to run fairly good for the most part. Now when I installed it, it did get pretty hot, which is weird because usually my MacBooks don't get like that, but this one got really hot for some reason. The fans didn't kick up that much when I was installing it though, so that's good. Or bad depending on how you look at it, because maybe that's why it was heating up so much. I did play a couple of games here and there, and like I said, I'm already expecting it not to, be the best performing device by any means, so I was looking at it purely from like a stability standpoint, and in terms of that, I'm really surprised by it. I think if you have a 2013 MacBook, if you're forced to go to like a macOS 11 update because of some reason, I don't think it's going to be too bad from the, first impression that I had from it. But I will say, anybody who's running macOS 10 point whatever, as long as you're below Catalina, I would recommend you to stay at Catalina or below. I would not recommend installing macOS 11 just yet, just because I didn't necessarily see too many problems. Doesn't mean there aren't problems that I can face tomorrow or the next week or the next month. You never really gain that much just by, upgrading your MacBook or iPhone or whatever just immediately when the new beta comes out. And like I said before, just because I haven't ran into any issues doesn't mean there aren't issues out there that we'll be running into. And I've seen a lot of different things, from the 16-inch MacBook to like the 2015 12-inch MacBooks to even this one that I've read online, even the MacBook Airs. There are people running into too many issues. If you're somebody who's dependent on a MacBook like this, I was just using it to kind of test some things out, to play a game or two, and that's it. But if I actually use this MacBook as a main device, if I was using it to edit videos and record audio and all those different things, I might just run into so many issues that, I might have not seen just in this initial impression. So that is another huge thing to keep in mind. I would not feel comfortable recommending everyone to update to the specific update on this MacBook, or really any MacBook at all, just because of the amount of issues that you may, just run into. So this is basically how I'll run this down. I'm actually really surprised that Apple pushed this update and made it running fairly decent on this type of MacBook, but I feel like if this MacBook could have supported this update, I feel like the 2012 Retina MacBook Pro could have supported this, as well as the last technically non-Retina MacBook Pro, which was the 2012 one. I feel like that one could have supported this as well. That was pretty powerful, and the fact that it was pretty modular, so you can go and change really whatever you wanted inside of it, really meant that that was a hugely, really meant that that was a MacBook that I think a lot of people owned and a lot of people liked. I think there are still some ways to kind of go around the update and update it, kind of non-officially. I don't know how that works, but it still would have been really cool had we had that new update on those specific devices as well, because this 2013 one runs it fairly well or fairly decent, but I feel like the 2012 ones could have supported it too. So with that being said, like I said a billion times before, do not install macOS 11. You're just asking for problems. You're going to run into tons of different issues, and you really don't gain any advantages. Just wait until September. The timeline of this update coming out is around that September timeframe. That is when this update should come out. There are rumors stating that it's probably going to come out around October, and if that is the case, even better, because we can get some more betas out and it can get a little bit more refined before that official version comes out. So if you have a 2013 MacBook Pro Retina, I will tell you, I think it's going to be a pretty good update, but there's probably a ton of issues that I haven't run into. And if you are a owner of any MacBook that has actually had the macOS 11 update on it, please let me know in the comment section below so that we can kind of get, a consensus on how good of an update it is and how bad of an update it is. Like I said before, on my 2013 MacBook Air and my 2013 MacBook Pro, I haven't really had too many issues. But like I said a billion times before, that doesn't mean you won't run into any issues either. So that really pretty much covers it up for the most part. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to install this update for any reason, don't. Like I stated a billion times. Like I said, leave a comment if you guys ran into any issues on this specific update. That'll mean so much, and I can kind of get an idea and gauge how well of an update this was. Hit that like button, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.